Hey y'all, we are back with another episode of Beauty Shop Diaries. And if you know me, you already know who this is. She has literally been with me my entire career since I've been a stylist. So she has watched me grow through so many stages of life. This is Darlene.
Hello, everybody.
And last weekend we had a masterclass slash
Hmm.
workshop called the Identity Audit. Remembering the woman beneath the rose, because we all are so busy and we get so caught up in the roles that we play for everybody else that it's easy to forget who we
Hmm.
truly are.
So true.
And so I just wanted to just bring her on and just chat a little bit. And so what stood out the most to you?
The biggest thing for me, one of the key words was energy deficit.
Mm-hmm.
Just even thinking about that was like, oh my God! Like I didn't realize that I'm depositing my energy in something where it doesn't need to be,
Mm-hmm.
and then you're not realizing why I'm drained.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
And the second one was it was energy um, budget. Was it energy budget?
Mm-hmm.
And and I related that to, like, if I'm gonna go purchase something
Mm-hmm.
and I got a budget on what I'm gonna purchase, why would I not budget my energy towards things
Absolutely.
that absolute things that I don't need?
Absolutely.
And that was just it was just so amazing. It was just awesome.
That is so good. The first part that you said, realizing, because a lot of times we're tired and we're like, I slept good. Like, why am I still so tired?
Exactly.
But
Exactly.
then you realize that I'm pouring my energy into other things or other
People.
people that are not necessarily pouring back
Hmm.
into you. So,
Hmm.
the saying that we all say, your cup is empty,
Yeah.
right? So that's where the drain comes
Hmm.
from.
Hmm.
And yeah, and I love that was a big thing that stuck out to you, energy budget. So how have you been able to manage your budget?
So after doing that, I want to say too. Let me say this first. I am so proud of you,
Thank you.
and you do such an amazing job with this story. Like, um, anybody that knows me, always known for years, I would always say hair therapy. I called it hair therapy because that's what it was. Like, I come and get my hair done. You're behind me in my physical head,
Mm-hmm.
but you also get into my head, and I love that. You've been doing it all these years. It's
27
for
years.
27 years, and so, but just being in the group, and then you literally pouring out these things that we don't even think about every day,
Yeah.
because we're being a mom, a grandmother, we're working, we're running businesses, we're just doing different things that we don't really have time to stop and think about some of this stuff. But this week, and you asked me today, you was like, how was your day?
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, I had a great day. And you was like, that's good. And I said, you know what, I've had an amazing week, because things that I was giving my attention to
Mm-hmm.
and giving my time to, and in my mind, things I would kind of let bother me, haven't even thought about it.
Wow.
Have not even thought about it at all.
So that's amazing. Just from we went over our hour. It was
Hmm.
almost
Hmm.
2 hours we were
It
talking.
was. I was, but I was not ready to, what I loved about that is the other women that were um, in the master class, each had a different, I'm not even going to call it an issue, just a different stressor,
Yeah.
but it was all relatable.
Yeah.
And what I love the most is that you asked us to um, write down our 5 stressors, up to 5, but some of us had more.
The roles that carried
The
the
roles
most
that
weight.
carried the most weight, And I love that because we would put one beside the one that was less stress and 10 beside. And when you think about those things in your daily role, and some of it is just, it's really not even necessary. And that's where that energy budget comes in, because we're budgeting our energy wrong.
Absolutely. That's right.
Yeah.
That's
and
right.
and we're investing our energy in things that we don't have to invest it in. And I haven't been tired this week at all.
Wow. That is amazing.
I absolutely
I
love it. I can't wait. I can't wait to the next section.
I know. So you kind of dipped into my next question. I was going to ask you, was there a particular moment that you felt something click or shift during the class?
Writing that down, like being able to write that down. Sometimes you don't even, you can say things, but when you're actually writing things down and you can go back and look at it, that's when it makes a lot of sense.
Which is therapeutic in itself.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. Exactly. And that right there, and I didn't even have to think about it. Like my 5 things, I didn't even have to think about what they were. And I didn't even really have to think about the number 1 through 10 either, But that's what stood out the most, for me.
That is awesome. So what did you become aware of about yourself that you hadn't acknowledged before?
And then you've talked about this over and over and over and over. But I give more than I get. Than I get back. And I'm learning not to do that. I'm also learning that your time and your energy, if you don't want to give it, it's not a selfish thing. You're not being selfish to do that. You're being selfish to yourself.
Self-focused.
Yeah, it's exactly. Yeah.
That is awesome, darling. I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
And you just touched my heart just to know that this week has been amazing, that you really walked away with so much from this class. I'm extremely proud of you.
Thank you so much.
To know that because we have such a deep relationship, and to be able to see and feel the energy shift today is amazing.
It absolutely is. And I wanted to share this. Sunday in church, I had to sing, and normally when we're done, we go back and sit in the audience. And so I sat beside my sister and my brother like I do every Sunday. But as I was walking up, Lois, she looks at me and she grabbed me, she hugged me, she said, "Sis," she said, "you got a glow."
Wow.
She said, "You look good." I was like, wow.
Wow.
And I saw it myself on Monday when I went to work, and one of my coworkers told me the same thing.
Wow. That weight.
Yeah.
That emotional weight that we carry, we think, you just go along. Go along to get along.
That's true. That's true.
And then we start to release some of that weight. It does. It lightens you up. Your energy lightens up, and again, like you said, your face just you lighten up. Just you glow from the inside out.
Yeah, from the inside out.
That is amazing.
Thank you.
That is awesome. So, were there any roles that you felt like you have outgrown that you've been carrying?
I think I shared that I always felt like the matriarch.
Yeah.
In in certain groups. And I'm outgrowing that role. I'm outgrowing that role.
Wow. What will it take for you to release that? Are you ready? First, let me ask you, are you ready to release that?
You know what? I am ready to release that, because I'm not pressured to do that.
Yeah.
If I receive a phone call, or like even like sometimes, in certain situations, and not necessarily with friends or coworkers or even my family, I can just look at my phone and be like, you know what, I don't have to respond to that if
And
I
that's
don't want to.
okay.
And it's okay.
That's right.
It's okay.
That is amazing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Wow.
Thank you.
Y'all just don't know. This is like really touching me because I know her, like I said, and just to see this shift so quick.
Thank you, Tori.
And that's like you spoke on earlier. That's the beauty of having a community. Because a lot of times we go through stuff and we think we're the only ones going through it. And so when you are able to get together with like-minded women who are on the same path that you are on, it's something so powerful about
it. Really
that
was.
connection.
I didn't want to let it go. Like I just, I didn't even realize we had gone over the time.
Yeah.
It was just, and I think we probably could have went another hour.
We probably could. That is awesome. So since you have acknowledged that role that you are ready to let go of, what would it take for you to completely release that version?
Really just continuing to know more about Darlene and just to continue this. Like, I love it. Like, I love what I loved about you is your tone, your the expertise that, because you've really been doing this, Tori, for 27 years and you didn't realize it. So it's really now just coming into what they say, fruition.
Right. Yeah.
Because you've been doing this all along. And you've always, and that's why you've been so successful, and not only being in the industry that you're in with hair, it just really opened the door.
It did.
For all of this. And what better person, someone that you trust in your head.
That's right.
And in your head.
Yeah.
And just being able to do that, and being in the community of women who share the same thing. We have the same, we're mothers, we're grandmothers, aunties, uncles, friends,
business
owners,
managers,
we're doing all these things, and some of us are wives, and so doing these things. And I see why your energy budget is kind of depleted, because it's a lot.
It's a lot.
But being able to, have that, like a forum, where you can just kind of, go to and say, hey, just doing like a sister check.
Exactly.
I absolutely love that, and I'm looking forward to the next one.
I love that.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to the next one.
I love it.
I love that. Thank
so
you so
the next one won't be long. But yeah, so that is it for today, y'all. So catch us back after the next one, which will probably be in a month or so. But thank you for tuning in.
Thank you, guys.